Today, we're going to get into an idea that is somehow both ancient and feels like it was written about this morning. We're going to talk about what happens when the floodwaters rise, not around our homes, but around the very meaning that holds our world together.
And this right here, this is the whole idea in a nutshell. Think about all those ancient flood myths, stories of catastrophic waters washing away entire civilizations. Well, we're living through a new version of that story. Only this time the deluge isn't made of water. It's an overwhelming, endless flood of information. And it's threatening to erode the very things that give our world coherence. Our symbols, our trust, our expertise.
So let's start there. Let's talk about this new deluge. This is a flood that doesn't come from angry gods or endless rain. Nope, this is a flood that we built ourselves.
But to really get a grip on what's happening now, we have to look back. Because pretty much every ancient civilization had a flood story. And they were never just about bad weather. They were profound warnings from the water.
And this is the key. Those old stories, they were always about a civilizational reset. They were about hitting that incredibly fragile hinge between total annihilation on one side and a chance for renewal on the other. They served as this powerful reminder that the worlds we build are never ever as permanent as they feel. And you see this pattern everywhere. It's universal. The Epic of Gilgamesh, it tells us that even the mightiest empires get washed away. Genesis shows us that you can rebuild order, but it takes a promise, a covenant. Over in India, the story of Manu is all about saving not just life, but sacred wisdom. In China, it's about the legitimacy that comes from taming chaos through sheer will and engineering. The theme just repeats again and again. The world collapses, a small remnant survives, and the most important thing they carry with them isn't tools, it's meaning itself.
Okay, so that brings us to the Torrent of today, a time when it feels like our collective coherence, our ability to even agree on what's real, is drowning. Our flood looks and feels very different. And here's the term for it: information universality. Just think about it. It's this constant raging torrent where every fact, every opinion, every contradiction, every half-truth hits us all at the exact same time. There's no time for things to settle, no time for thoughtful interpretation. In this flood, knowledge gets ripped away from expertise, and truth gets completely unmoored from trust. It all just becomes noise, debris floating in the water.
So let's just put them side by side, because the contrast is everything. The ancient floods, they destroyed the physical world, bodies, buildings, crops. Our new flood, it destroys the symbolic world, our shared rituals, our trust in experts, the very meaning of our words. And the cause is different too. It's not some angry god anymore. It's the platforms and algorithms we created. Which means, of course, that the arc we need to build and who the survivors will be has to be completely different this time around. So what's actually getting washed away here? It's all the invisible stuff. The foundations that actually hold a society together, that shared understanding that lets us feel like a we, a common language that's now being shattered into a million little memes, the rituals that used to give us stability and a shared memory, and, maybe the most dangerous of all, expertise itself, just drowned out in a sea of hot takes and instant opinions.
And really, this is what it all boils down to. This is the ultimate danger. We're not drowning physically, but our coherence, our shared ability to make sense of the world together is absolutely gasping for air. We are losing the map.
Now, I know that sounds incredibly bleak, but the story doesn't have to end there. We can move on to the next chapter, building an arc of meaning. So, what on earth does a modern arc even look like?
In the old stories, the ark was simple: wood and pitch, a physical shelter. But in an information flood, wood and pitch are totally useless. Our ark has to be built from completely different materials. We're talking filters and scaffolds for thinking. It's not a vessel made of planks, but a vessel made of new practices.
So here's the blueprint for that arc. First, we need valves of timing. We have to deliberately slow down the fire hose of information so that our brains can actually catch up and comprehend it. Next, rituals of bounded ignorance. This sounds strange, but it just means creating intentional silence, choosing to ignore the noise so that real, deep meaning has a chance to form. Third, we need reservoirs of trust. We have to actively build and defend systems that verify information, that tell us where things come from. And finally, we have to protect embodied expertise. We have to start treating genuine skill and human judgment like the precious, strategic resources they truly are.
And all of this leads us to our final section. We have to forge a new covenant. Because in this new world, survival isn't a matter of luck. It's a matter of conscious design.
You know, in the biblical story, after the flood, a rainbow appears. It's a promise from God never to destroy the world that way again, a covenant from above. But in our flood, where's our rainbow? Who is going to make that promise to us?
And here's the tough, unavoidable truth. No rainbow is coming. No divine promise is on its way. Because this flood, it's of our own making. We built the storm. We designed the systems that are causing it. And that means we, and we alone, have to decide what, if anything, is worth saving from it.
So our new covenant, it has to be one we make with each other. It's an agreement, a promise, to start treating coherence, that ability to make sense of the world together, as if it were sacred. It's a commitment to see trust not as a feeling, but as a piece of critical infrastructure, like a bridge or a power grid. And it's a pledge to preserve real skill and expertise as the survival assets they are.
And that leaves us with this final, critical thought. This flood, as overwhelming as it feels, is survivable. All the ancient myths, they end with survival by design. A vessel that was deliberately built, a promise that was deliberately kept. If we choose to do the same, if we choose to consciously build our own arcs of meaning, then whatever shore we eventually reach won't be empty. It will hold the seeds of a future that's still recognizably human. The only question is, will we choose to build it?